Okay, good afternoon. I'm happy that you joined at 1 p.m. and you're ready to follow a presentation of Oracle. Just a group of engineer and HR people just decided to give us their 1 hour in the afternoon. So I'd like to pass my word to Edita Veselá. She will introduce her colleague. Thank you.
So hello everyone, welcome to this presentation. So we are actually here with a few colleagues from Oracle, and we would like to actually guide you through some of the products that we're actually developing in our Prague hub. We are actually here. You can see 6 people here, plus 7th is our colleague Monica, who's actually not mentioned here, but she's here with us as well, because she will be ready to answer any questions of yours that you might have. And we have actually prepared short presentations of each product. The first 2 presentations are let's say more generic, but the rest are actually about the product itself. And at the end of each presentation, there will be actually Q&A. Plus, we have also prepared some questions that will be happy to if you can actually answer. So you can actually use the chat options, or you can ask directly, and we'll be happy if this is actually a bit interactive. So I think we can start with David's intro of Oracle as a company.
Sure. Thank you, Edita, for the introduction. So yeah, welcome everyone on the Oracle presentation. So like my topic is Oracle is modern database, and I'm the Prague site lead for the product development. So maybe we go first with our statement that like our mission is to help the people to see the data in new ways, discover an insights, and unlock the endless possibilities. So like that's what kind of we are doing here in Prague in our product development. Currently we have more than 330 engineers working in more than 20 teams and working on more than 20 different products. So like our development is mainly the product, so like not doing specific projects, but rather preparing the solution which can be like applied for the specific customers. And from the history, the hub in Prague started with the Sun Microsystem acquisition back in 2010, which brings about 200 people. And then there was a Netsuite and Apiary acquisition shortly after each other in 2016 and 17, which totally brings like 50 people. So yeah, main focus of the product development here, like the people who are working here are like software engineers, quality assurance engineers, product managers, UI and UX designers. From the languages, it's mainly Java, of course, since it's now owned by Oracle, and the development is led by Oracle and the open source foundation around it. Yeah, and then we are using C, C++, Python, JavaScript, and many others. So I will introduce a couple of teams who are in Prague, but not part of the presentation today. So one of them is Paragraph Analytics and Oracle Labs Data Studio. Basically, they are doing like the graph analysis or like finding the graph patterns in using the fast SQL-like queries, which includes like machine learning. And like the target is to include like or find the financial crime, like detection of it, machine learning for the health sciences, and market segmentation for retail. And then we have GraalVM, which is actually another implementation of Java virtual machine. It's open source and written in Java, and basically it provides better performance than the standard JVM. It also provides ahead of time compilation and fast startup and low memory footprint. And yeah, it's developed here in Prague. Yeah, so that was it for my part. Now, if you have any question, we have one for you. So what is the most important for a developer?
Yeah, so we would want to know, like, what is the most important thing for a developer in your opinion, and feel free to use the chat to write down the questions. So the first option is coffee, the second is huge monitor, the third is good headset. Or if you have anything else that you feel that is the most important thing for a software developer, please let us know. Maybe we didn't know, so it would be also interesting for us to find out what else can we actually provide to our colleagues, and so they would actually feel better. So feel free to use the chat option for all the questions that we are actually having for you. And those of you who will be the most active, or will have actually the answer right. In this case, basically all answers are correct. We have actually a small present for you ready. So in case you would be actually answering, then we'll be happy to welcome you at our reception and give you the present later on. So yeah, I don't see any answers at the moment, because so I think that you're all thinking. So definitely feel free to write down your answers during the whole presentation. So I think we can actually continue with my part. So
sure.
Yeah.
And over to you, Edita.
Okay, thank you. So basically my part is about life in Oracle. It's about we wanted to we wanted to basically give you the chance to see something more of us, something more of our culture. You can actually see also in our background pictures, you can see the pictures from our office. So these are real pictures. This is really how our office actually looks like. So you can at least see if you are not there, and if we can't welcome you there at the moment, so you can at least see it on the picture. So if we can go to the next slide of it. Thank you. As you have heard from David, we are actually one of the top employers, not only in Czech Republic, but also globally. Basically, there was actually some kind of competition in March 2021 by Randstad, when we were actually we actually were rated as a top 10 employers in the Czech Republic, which is something that we are really proud of, and which is also something that actually gives us the motivation to continue and to get better and to further develop in this, because we want to be the best. So here you can see actually four pillars that we are building on. And that is definitely something that we are counting with in the future as well. The first one is a culture of learning. So basically, it means that when you would start working with us, it doesn't mean that you can start as in some kind of technology and you wouldn't be further developing yourself, because we have a lot of online learning content. We have actually switched from the in-person content to online content. We are a global company, so that's why everything is accessible to everyone, to all of our 130,000 employees globally. And you can see the number of 16 million of online learning content. So there's really a lot of materials, and this is all ready for you to use and to further develop yourself. Connected to learning is actually a support of internal career mobility as well. which actually means that we are supporting you in case you would want to develop yourself in some other field. So let's say that you start in some technology, and you then actually, as the year actually are going on, it doesn't mean that you need to stuck with the one technology, but you can actually develop yourself, and we are definitely here to support you in this. So basically, it's quite a common thing that, for example, colleagues who are in Oracle, let's say 10 years, they are not working 10 years on one in one team and on one technology, but it's quite common that they change during those 10 years. They change teams, for example, 3 times. Yeah, and it's possible to kind of like switch the career, switch the path of the career, but still you are within one organization, which is quite an advantage. Also, as I mentioned, the learning and career mobility, we are actually having and also developing our leaders and mentors who are actually listening to your needs. For example, on the right side, you can see a screenshot of our mentoring program, which is a global mentoring program that is actually available for all employees or for all our colleagues. And it's basically possible by this program that you can connect with someone who is interesting for you from the, let's say, technology point of view, or from even the personal point of view. And you can, for example, get in touch with a senior architect from our headquarters in US, and this person can actually become your mentor and can help you with your further development. So these are the things that we are also trying to work on, and that are actually working on in Oracle globally, but also in the Czech Republic. And last but not least, the fourth pillar that we are building on is actually our wellness and social events. You can see some of the screenshots here. These are actually pictures from events that were happening. These are all pre-COVID events when it was actually still possible to meet without any restrictions. But we definitely want to continue in these. So either these events are on inviting someone who's external, who has some kind of interesting topic to say to our colleagues, or there's also, we're trying to connect colleagues who are having some kind of technology knowledge, so they will be actually sharing with the rest. Or we are the picture from on the right side. This is from celebration, if I remember correct. This is from the celebration of one team who is existing in Oracle for 20 years already, which is definitely something that needs to be celebrated. So these are also the things that we are doing, and that we are actually using for connecting our colleagues between themselves. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Or if I won't be able to, then I will ask David to do it for me. Okay, thank you. So we actually continue with those 3 pillars that I wanted to mention that we are building on. So the first one that's mentioned here is actually workplace flexibility, which actually means that we don't really care where you're working from unless the work is actually done. So at this moment, our colleagues have the possibility to work from anywhere within the Czech Republic, and this is not only concerning location, but also the timing. Yeah, so we understand that everyone is different, and if someone is fine doing their job at 7 a.m. and someone is fine doing their job at 10 p.m., this is fine with us. And unless the work is done, we don't really care when you will do the job itself. This is also connected with the fact that our team is global, or more. I would say most of our teams are global, so it's quite common that you are working with your colleagues from UK or US. So there is definitely the time flexibility as well. And what we are also concentrating on is kind of like a social responsibility, because we are a big company and we can afford to help where it's needed. So that's why there are 2 programs that we are also building on. The one is Oracle Giving, which actually works in a way that you, for example, donate some money, let's say 1,000 crown to some nonprofit organization, and we will actually double your contribution, just so, because in case there is some nonprofit organization that you are cooperated with, then we feel that we can actually do it and raise the contribution from your side as well this way. And last thing that's mentioned here is actually volunteering. So we have the possibility of volunteering actually 40 hours per year, which of course we can volunteer even more, but these are the hours that are given to everyone for free. So you don't actually need to take any vacation, but you can just volunteer during your working hours, just by discussing with your manager on some kind of volunteering activity that is going on. We need to be fair here that there were not so many volunteering activities during the COVID times, but hopefully now with all the vaccines and all this kind of back to normal, we will be able to do some kind of more volunteering activities in the future as well. Okay, and we can move to the next slide. And this one is actually about faces. So just so you would know that we are really not anonymous. We didn't want to be anonymous. And so that's why there are actually stories of 3 of our colleagues that are just basically the showing that we really are trying to care about those pillars that I have mentioned in the first slide. On the first picture, you can actually see our colleague Martin, who's the example of learning, let's say, because Martin actually started with us as a Q&A analyst, and he became in a year he became a QA manager, which is the role that he's doing right now. So this is definitely possible that when you start at some entry-level position, in case you are interested and you show team lead skills, then definitely there is a possibility of growing. Eva, who's the lady in the middle. So Eva is an example of the international career options, because Oracle is a global company. We have basically offices, I think, almost everywhere in every country in the world. And that's why it's also possible to have some kind of experience like Eva. So Eva is an example of a colleague who started in Prague's site. Then she was actually interested in doing some project abroad, which was actually possible with her experience. So she was actually spending 2 years in Oracle Singapore, and then she relocated back to Prague when her project was over. And kind of a similar example is our colleague Adam, who's the last guy on the last picture. So Adam actually is working now in Oracle Canada, because he was also kind of like a similar person as Eva. He wanted to gain some experience from abroad, so that's why he relocated, and now he's working in Oracle Canada. And he was so nice that he actually took this picture in a cold, freezing winter Canada's time. So this is actually the picture is actually coming from our office. So he actually went outside. He took off all these winter clothes, and then he did this picture for us in the Oracle T-shirt. So this is something that we really appreciate. So these are all the stories that can actually happen to you as well, and these are just the examples of the fact that we are really working with our colleagues. We are caring about their development, and basically the fact that we are a global company and a big company, these all things are actually possible with us. So we can move to the next slide. And of course, feel free to let us know in case you would have any questions. And if not, there is a question from our side, which we'll be happy if you use the chat again. And the question is, what is CI? So the first option is confidential information, the second is continuous integration, and the third is computational integral. I hope I read it correct. So feel free to use the chat for the answer that you actually feel is the right one. And as I mentioned, there will be a present for those of you who will actually write down the correct answers. So we'll be happy if we hear from you. And with this, we can actually move to the next topic.
Yeah, it's probably my turn.
Which is NetSuite, yeah.
Okay, let's see if I can control the screen. Yeah, I can. Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Adam Svoboda. I am a software developer in NetSuite, and I'm here today to present NetSuite to you. And as far as I know, you are students, probably finishing the university soon. And I was thinking what you might be interested in, probably not the information you can get from the internet, but maybe some insights into how the work in NetSuite looks like. So yeah, I was thinking I would just briefly summarize what NetSuite is, and then I would try to explain why I think that NetSuite is a great place to work at. So let's get into it. Yeah, so on this slide, you can see a screenshot from NetSuite. It's a cloud business system, and it's a system that every company should have that can track your sales and financials, taxes, inventory. You can have your employees and customers and vendors in there, and also it can do some commerce and analytics and all the useful stuff that the companies need to grow and to work. And usually companies have like plenty different systems, and they have to do some stupid integrations, and it ends up with people doing some manual work. And what's the solution is that you should put all this into one application, one suite, which actually NetSuite is a great example, because it not only does everything conveniently in one system, but also it benefits from having all the data together. And for example, just basically when a sales guy does greatly sales, it can in the system automatically influence, for example, his salary, give him some bonus, and no one has to care about it. It's like automated and everything in one system. So that's just NetSuite. Yeah, actually I forgot. Great part is that you can customize it. You can create your own records and fields and your own behavior. So our customers actually use NetSuite. Like every customer can have various approach and various business, and NetSuite can fit like almost anything. So that's great about it. And now I'm probably getting to how the work looks like, because if the system is so complex, probably the code and the development will be complex too. So let's see the next slide. And this is about, is it blank?
Yes. Yeah, you have to click more time.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Anyway, this is what I wanted the slide to look like. So this is, you can see all the tools that we use, and I'd like to explain how the work looks like, and I'd like to do it by sharing my personal experience. So when I joined, which was like 2.5 years ago, it was right after the university, and my initial skill set was like I was able to code in Java, and I knew some SQL, but all the other stuff I had like almost no experience. I just knew what it is about, but like no really skills. And yeah, I just had to learn along the way, and yeah, it has not ended. It's after 2.5 years. I'm still learning, and there is still a lot I need to improve in. And this is actually why I named the presentation Development of an Engineer, because I think that while developing NetSuite, you actually get yourself developed and improved. And that's what I believe that the work should be about. Not really going to an office and doing some job and then getting paid, but actually learning something new, getting new experience, and moving on. And this is what NetSuite actually can give you. So that's in my opinion the core. The job is challenging, but not really stressful. When there is some scope and you just cannot fulfill it, it's not really a failure, but we rather take it as an opportunity to improve. For example, in estimating or designing or something. And yeah, it's very flexible. You can be either a developer or a tester, or actually recently we've been doing something like universal engineering, which means that you can actually switch between those two roles. So on a few projects or defects, you act as a developer, meaning that you are really coding something, or on other projects or defects, you can act as a tester, which means that you are investigating the bugs and then providing the verification. So it's like very flexible. And yeah, as I mentioned, defects, it's not only working on defects, could be new features or preparing new projects for the future development. So it's like very flexible, various, and yeah, I personally really like it. Yeah. Okay. Maybe just to show you that it's not only about working. For example, my virtual background is our football room, where I've been visiting football room every day when we were in the office. I like playing football. And other than that, we do canoeing or like go-karts, racing, and we go to pub or some sightseeing, because we have a great team in Prague. And actually in general, I haven't met any rude people in Netsuite, but specifically in Prague, the guys are awesome, and I really enjoy spending time with them. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, probably this would be all from my side. So thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and like see you at the interview.
Thank you, Adam. And I'm sure that part of the interview will be playing the table football with you, right?
Of course.
Yeah. But I'm very afraid this will be just a side effect of the interview. So we have another question actually ready, and of course, like feel free to ask any questions in case you are interested something about NetSuite. And if we can go back to the question, please still. Thank you. So the question is, how is DB index implemented? DB index, sorry. And I don't know, apparently we don't have even any options here. So this one is tough, at least for me. So in case anyone has any idea about how is DB index implemented, thank you, Moni, for posting the question to the chat. So feel free to let us know, and we will actually tell you all the correct answers at the end of our session. But feel free to let us know your answers, and as I mentioned, there is a gift for those of you who will answer correctly. So now we can continue with another slides, and these are slides about continuation of what is the NetSuite team doing in Prague's hub.
Hello, my name is Michal. I lead one of the NetSuite teams here in Prague, and let me tell you quickly something about Agile. When I ask my friends, do you work at an Agile company? They most often respond, yes, we do Scrum. We have the daily meeting, and there's a Scrum Master who tells us what to do and how to do it. And we got rid of all those ways like documentation, planning, and rules set up by stupid managers. So is this Agile? Well, not really, in my opinion. So let's compare what we have at NetSuite. We have some ceremonies, though we ask ourselves on the retros, does it make sense to keep this? Do we limit the number of participants? We have the fancy names because it just makes communication easier to distinguish between squad and tribe. We write some documentation, and we even do some planning because we want to understand the problem we are going to solve. And we actually don't have the managers, but the managers don't assign tasks to developers, and they don't need to create the rules. Actually, the team knows that they need the rule, and they can agree how to, for example, do the Git branching. And we have a fancy name for it as well, of course. So it's called work agreement. So is this Agile? Still probably not. There are more important aspects. So one is early and frequent delivery that enables learning, that makes customers happy. So let me give you an example. We are starting a new project, so it means new architecture. There's a lot of dependencies on the other teams. We even don't know yet what solution we need to build for our customers, what capabilities and features. So it clearly means that we cannot start building it, right? Well, we challenged this statement, And we proposed an experiment, a time-bound, asking a team to try end-to-end delivery, to really build the backend, build the front end, have the automated tests ready for a very limited scope of the new project. And there was a brave team who volunteered to try it and succeeded. You know, they had to make a number of workarounds around all those unresolved dependencies, but it was very useful. They shared their experience with the whole tribe and actually even a wider audience. And practically they saved us a month, because if we waited for another month, we would probably still have lots of dependencies and questions. So now we are much better off. There's more team collaboration in all dimensions. It's not just engineering that is agile. It's the whole team, user researchers, product managers. We all work together to really build the solution right. We help each other in the same roles, engineers doing the code reviews. Most often you work with the colleagues in the same location in Prague. That's the easiest way. But often we find that there's some expert or just more heads who know more in the other locations. So my team works closely with colleagues in Barcelona, in Montevideo, and in the United States. And the mindset is that we all succeed or fail together. So it's not the Prague team failed or the testers failed. We do help each other, and this way we succeed together. There would be so much more. So let me pick just a few examples. It has to be safe for even a software senior developer to admit, I should know this, but I don't know. Please help me. And we really make the environment safe. Flexibility. In our case, it doesn't mean that you have to answer phone calls Saturday night. It rather means that you are open to new ideas, to new ways of working, and you are open to experimenting and changing the way you are working with the team. And sustainability. We hope that Netsuite will still be around in 10 or 20 years. So we really try to make the product as good that we will be happily maintaining and evolving in that long-term future. So we need to make it technically really excellent with the tests and clean code to be able to do it. Fun. We may argue whether fun really belongs to Agile, but I believe that really to have a successful Agile team, you need to have fun at work. And definitely it's the way we prefer it to work. So it's kind of a work agreement to have fun. And that's really the way how we enjoy the work. One caveat: if you are a bit lazy and you just prefer your manager to give you a clear assignment, you fulfill it and then wait for another one, then probably Agile is not the right flavor for you. But otherwise, I would say that if Agile works, it's really an enjoyable experience to work in an Agile team, and it's worth seeking an Agile team and being on such a team. And we really try to do it at Netsuite. That's all. Thank you. Now we have a question again.
Yes, thank you, Michal. So again, feel free to ask any questions to Michal in case you would have any. And if not, then there is a question from our side, and that is, what is PWA? So the first option is Progressive Web App. The second is Protected Web App Access, and the third is Productive Worldwide Agile. So feel free to let us know your tips, and I really hope that there will be some other answer than from Carolina, even though Carolina, you can still answer as well. So thank you, Michal, and yeah, I think we can continue with the next presenter, and that is Ladja, who will tell you more about OCI.
Hi, I am Ladislav. I am manager of API Cloud Service that was acquired by Oracle a few years ago, and I'm working in part of Oracle called OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Next slide, please. The Oracle Cloud Infrastructure is cloud. You maybe know AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. We are fourth biggest cloud in the world. We have now about 30 regions in many countries. You can see on picture, and we still developing new ones. And team in OCI running services in all these clouds together. We have some clouds are commercial one, and we have some for governments and some for private companies around the world. Our cloud is newest. If you compare with other companies as AWS, Google, we have newest infrastructure. We have, for example, have, for example, L2 virtualization network. That's quite unique feature that helps our customers easy migrate from their data centers to our data centers using VMware technologies, for example. And next slide. The whole infrastructure and strategy is about some hybrid cloud technology, that we have our cloud available in the same API, with same APIs, with same prices for any customer on any this of type of cloud. That you can have that public cloud, it's just that normal one that you register with your credit card. You can use any services that are available from customers. We have some free plan to test it if you want. You can test it, our service is free. We have clouded customer service that are usually replacement for customers on-premise data centers, that we take their data centers, we put our hardware there, and we run for customers whole cloud. It's the same API. We make same prices for customers as in public cloud. And the third one option is Rover Edge. Next slide, please. That's ultimate our cloud in these small racks. You take 5 of them and you can have own cloud, for example, in oil tower in the ocean. We support ad hoc delivery over planes, the plane going around 1 per week, and synchronize Oreo data with your on-premise cloud. We support all these types. You have all our services deployed and updated in all this type of clouds. Next slide. In my team, we are a small part of OCI. We are around API services. That's originally Prague was API cloud service. They are based here, and under me there we have 2 teams. That one is still maintaining API cloud service, and second team in Prague working on OCI API gateway. That will be some next product, and we have colleagues that working in cooperation that are in UK, in Bristol, and they are working on Oracle functions. That is a very near product to API gateway. We have API platform that's old on-premise gateway that's developed in Oracle 20 years ago, and we still maintaining them. And that's guys that are working in India, and we all in cooperation working on some next API global product that will be in our cloud for all customers. Next slide. And the OCI is quite different than, for example, Netsuite, and we are split into service team. Every service team have his service, and he owns the service completely. It's we just not developing or testing. We make operations too. That usually we don't have any testers in OCI. There are engineers that are working as developers, but they are working as operations too. That part of his job is just make the development service, deployed service. We also take care about compliance, security. We building that new region that you see. We adding more and more every month. And we also have on-calls 24/7, 365, and that we care about our services, and we take pagers to be sure that all are online and work correctly. We use standard tools as guys from Netsuite working. We use Java, Golang, Python, TypeScript, Lua. We use Git, Open API spec for documentation of APIs. We use Jira, we use Slack. From that operation things we using for managing infrastructure, Terraform, we using dashboards in Grafana, we using Kubernetes, we manage Kubernetes is one of OCI services too. All instances running on Graal VM. If we running Java that was mentioned, that was developed in Prague, and OCI, all Java are running on Graal VM. We use PagerDuty and internal paging tools for be ready. That all is ready. Next slide. Yeah, that is question to the end. What is HTTP status code 418? That's nice one.
Yes, so thank you, Laia, for your presentation. So yeah, the question is, what is HTTP status code 418? So feel free to let us know. And Ladia, maybe if you have any hints for our participants.
Yeah, it's something about something for drinking. It's not directly. It's uncommon status code in that list of status code.
Thank you. So we'll be happy to hear your answers.
Yeah,
we'll be happy to hear your answers, which we will actually disclose at the end of the session. And now, with no further delay, let's go to the last presenter, that is Petr. And Petr will tell you something about Oracle Visual Builder.
Hello, so I'm Petr Jiřička. I am the development manager on the Visual Builder team. And so let's just dive in. If you go to the next slide, this is what Visual Builder looks like. So basically, it's a development tool in the cloud. So you have your design surface where you can drag and drop components, you can configure them, you can bind data, you can create files, you can store them in Git, and so on. All that this is, you can publish your up to live in the cloud. So this is all that Visual Builder does. And I will be showing more about that and in more detail. But for now, let's just go to the next slide, and I will tell you more about kind of what this tool does. So, as I said, it's this is a development environment that is aimed to be productive. So something that you would do in 1 week during using traditional kind of JavaScript, HTML, CSS development tools, you can do in 1 day or half a day in Visual Builder. It's a low-code tool, which means that you can still do your JavaScript, you can still do your HTML, but there are only small amounts of code that you have to do, and most of it is configured through wizards, through drag and drops, through visual tools. It is for both web apps and mobile apps. So the way we support mobile apps is through a technology that's kind of gaining ground these days. Is called progressive web apps, and that's basically a way to install a web application on your phone without having to write a native app and publish it in the App Store and things like that. This is the cloud. It's a primary cloud service. But you can also like have the files locally, put that on your hard drive, and work with an extension of the Visual Studio Code. So I don't know who knows the Visual Studio Code provided by Microsoft, but it's a very popular coding tool and development tool in the recent years. So basically, Visual Builder can be both a cloud service and an extension to VS Code. And we actually use this cloud service not only for giving it to external customers, but for our internal development as well. And most importantly, there is Fusion Apps, which is the kind of main application suite that Oracle develops and offers to customers with all the CRM and ERP and HR systems, and basically anything that you need to run your company is basically the main Oracle product in the space. And this tool or this application is transitioning to be built using Visual Builder. So some teams within Oracle Fusion already are using Visual Builder. Some will be using it in the near term, but basically this is switching it to a new architecture based on the Visual Builder. And so this represents about 10,000 internal developers who are using that to develop Oracle apps. Another kind of important point is that you can, of course, you can build your own apps and develop new apps from scratch. But if there is another app that someone else developed using Visual Builder, you can use this tool and say add a field to a form or add a screen, add a flow, and extend your existing application developed by others for something that you need and that's unique to your business or to your needs. So it's a both kind of new development tool and as well as extension tool. Okay, we can move on. And now, if you can give me control, I would like to show a short demo of what this looks like. So basically, this is Visual Builder in action. And here you can see that I have my web applications. There is one application. I can open a page. It loads what the page looks like in practice. I can drag and drop components here. I can say preview what it looks like when the user will see it. So basically, this application, I just select the country, and it gives me the flag and some facts about the country. So it's a simple application built using Visual Builder. It's kind of a demo application that we have. Next, I can go to services, and here I can see the kind of services that it is using. So it's kind of pulling data from the internet somewhere, and now I can drill into like what it uses. So you see that there are two HTTP methods. One is get country details, another is get country list. When I go to the source, you can see that there is actually real source and real code behind this. And it's a format called OpenAPI3, and that's used for kind of describing services. And I think that's a good point. Basically, anything that you create in Visual Builder, in the background, it creates simple HTML and standard HTML, standard JavaScript. There is no magic. There is no kind of ugly stuff. JSON, all the kind of files are easily readable and pretty standard. Now I can see, business objects. I can say create some table. These are basically tables in the database. So I can have a table of cats. I can add some fields to the cat. We are running out of time, so maybe I'll skip this. Okay, here I can add a field. And then add some data. So we actually have 2 cats here. So one of them is called Kiki. So this is our cat. Now I can, in my application, I can create a page, and then I can drag my cats into the page. So it's kind of very easy, where I can do a table component, and I can then add data and say that this component, this table, is going to display cats. I select the columns, finish, and when it renders, okay, there was some problem. I don't know what it is, but it would show the list of cats. I can go back. This is kind of my overall project view. And for me, it automatically created build jobs. So these are basically, this is building my application. You can see there are 3 build runs. There is the log and so on. In the next step, there was a packaging part, and then there was the deployment part. So this kind of deployed the application to my build environment. Okay, I think that's all for the demo.
Thank you, Petr. So we are actually running out of time, as it was mentioned. So basically, I think we can just if we have still 1 minute, hopefully Karolina will not switch us off. So we would like to thank you all for your attention, and we will actually answer those questions. Just so we would be clear. Yeah, there is still one picture from Peter. Yeah. And sorry, Peter, you wanted to say something?
Yes, if you just let me go back to a few slides, and I would like to quickly just say, like what we are doing in Prague, just in 1 minute. So basically, this is the team that we have. We have people in Prague, US, UK, and India. In fact, the Prague is where this project started. So we have kind of the core of this project in Prague, and Prague has a long history of building development tools. The same team, for example, was working on the NetBeans IDE, which you may have heard of. We have several job roles. We have developers for both front end and back end. We have testing team, so quality test automation. So it's not just manual testing, but also writing automated test scripts. User experience design. We have DevOps who are kind of integrating the product into the cloud, basically working with the team that Ladia mentioned, with the OCI, and we have even one documentation guy. So I think that's basically it. Then there was a picture of a part of our team. This is actually after the lockdown, very recent, new kind of team building thing that we had just a couple of weeks ago. Okay, I think I'm done.
Okay, thank you. And as we really are running out of time, there is the last question that we have for you. But I think that we will address it via Karolina. So we will actually send it to you in email or in some kind of summary of this GetConnected job fair. So definitely there will be the answers for you. And I think that the present should go to all of those who actually provided us with some answers at least. And I think based on the chat, I think it was definitely Karolina, and it was Veronika and Nicola. So there will be definitely the gifts ready for you, and I will reach out to you directly just so we would actually be discussing when you would come to pick it up.
Edita just tried to ask
yes.
Ariane, even if he joined last, so he can just answer directly. Just test him.
Yeah, sure. So Ariane, so if you want to answer any of questions, so for example the last one, so definitely let us know, and there might be a present for you as well.
Well, I do not know the answer, unfortunately. So
okay,
no present for me.
Okay. So you need to join our next presentation, and then there will be some bunch of answers again and questions again. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
So thank you all. I think that will be all from our side, and I'm switching back to Carolina.
I just have to thank you for all the presentation we could have today, because I think just Oracle behind the scene is quite colorful with different groups and different opportunities which can be joined. I think there is also space for people who are not just skilled. I think you are just not open only to seniors, but for juniors too. Is there maybe any process that the students or juniors will get one mentor who will help them to get used to the Oracle?
Yeah.
How does it work?
Definitely there will be some kind of development plan for everyone. This is very individual, dependent on the technology, dependent on the skills of the person, and so on. But definitely when the person actually starts, there are a bunch of people who are taking care of them, starting definitely from the team lead, to body. There's of course the HR help, and there is always the possibility of finding a mentor as well. So definitely don't be afraid to let us know in case you would be interested in getting us more, and we're really open to everyone, even though it might seem difficult at the beginning. We are just basically looking for the potential. Yeah, so just definitely let us know. You can reach me out, and we can definitely discuss further.
I think because Ariane he directly contacted David Nejedlý, because he's a freshman at Matfis, so he's just really at the beginning. So he'll be, I guess, happy just to have a chance to start somehow, even that his knowledge are not that deep as a skillful programmer, maybe. So should I contact you, Edita, or David?
Yeah. Actually, Carolina, we are already in touch with Ariane. It's Monica speaking.
Okay,
so that's great that Ariane let us know about you, and we will continue in the discussion.
Okay, thank you. I just only want to know how the process is. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you a lot. I think we manage it, and I'm happy that Oracle again join us, and we can support you the way we could. And I hope just during the next months we will share also this presentation from today. We will work on the video a little bit, and we'll share it again with you so you can use it too. So thank you a lot.
Great.
Thank you all. And
great. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.